Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara O'Brien. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Sarah Pascoe and Josh Widdicombe, Ed Byrne, Hugh Dennis and James Acaster. We start with a round called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, what's going on here?
Is it a PR stunt by the Conservatives that in order to look more human, they all have to be followed around by a Dalek at all times?
Is it actually just the worst pairing ever on Strictly Come Dancing?
Is this not David Cameron meeting the only 70s television star not being investigated by Operation
It's a Dalek saying, "Don't worry, David, I know what it's like to have doctors hate you as well."
I actually think the Dalek could be worried that the TARDIS is broken because he's asked for 2014 and he's got out and he's like, Friends is on TV, there's a war in Iraq. Someone just left tape that. A famous sportsman got off for killing his partner. I'm back in the 90s.
Is it just Doctor Who regenerates as twat?
I like the idea that David Cameron has walked by and somebody just goes to the Dalek, "You had one job."
Is the Dalek simply going,
Ex-public school! It's weird, isn't it? Because it looks like he hasn't even noticed the Dalek.
He's only blanking it because they slept together once.
Do you not remember me? You held me. You held me. You said you could get me work in PR. No, do they know why Cameron is in the news?
This is the Conservative Party conference, which is being held in Birmingham.
Absolutely, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well done, Hugh. Yes, it's a picture of David Cameron, who faced a difficult start to this year's Conservative Party conference in Birmingham this week. Why? What overshadowed the conference?
Well, Mark Reckless defected over to UKIP.
Indeed,
and in some
did.
ways, it's quite a surprise, isn't it, that UKIP accepted a defection from another party, because they don't really like outsiders coming in taking their jobs.
I like Mark... Well, I don't like Mark Reckless, but I like his name.
Yeah.
He could be like an 80s cop. Like, I'd like to see a drama where Reckless is thrown off the case. That's what I'd like to see.
And the other guy who's defected is called Carswell. So that's quite a good team, isn't it?
Reckless and Carswell.
Reckless
You're
and
off the case,
Carswell.
Reckless. We're going to bring in Brian Irresponsible. Let's see.
Yeah, but prior to this, the thing that he was most famous for, Mark Reckless, wasn't it, was that he got too drunk in the House of Commons and was incapable of voting. He couldn't actually get out of the bar door, if you remember. He was trying to open the bar door to go and vote, and he kept on opening it on his own foot without realising that it was his own foot in the way. And you're guessing he's probably been trying to leave the Conservative Party for years.
They're very angry at him. A lot of people calling him Judas. He hates that, 'cause that's an immigrant's name.
The problem for all parties, though, when people defect, is you can defect whenever you want, right, to cause the maximum damage. But presumably you could get around that if you just had, like, you know, defection window, couldn't you? Like, you could have it like the transfer window, and then you could have, like, people defecting, and you could have deadline day, and it could all be covered by Sky News. So you get Tories going to UKIP, a couple of Lib Dems going to Labour, Labour bloke joined Stoke City by mistake.
Peter Odemwingie drives to the UKIP training ground and just hangs around, wanting to force their hand into taking him. No. Yeah, what would be the UKIP medical?
Well, there's one medical. Are you white? That's the medical, isn't it?
Well, we've done the skin test, and he seems to be passing it very well. Do you fancy a curry? No. Excellent. It's probably the best candle we've ever had.
But it is the fact as well that he did leave on conference day, which is like dumping someone on their birthday. Like, that's why he's so upset. Like, you've gone, it's all insecure, it's going to get some highlights. Is it because they've got a tighter immigration policy than me?
That wasn't all that happened, obviously. What other setbacks did the Conservatives suffer just for the conference?
We've been looking forward to this. This is the man who, the Conservative MP, who exposed himself over social media whilst wearing his blue and red paisley pyjamas.
Yes.
That's right.
Brooks and Newmark.
Oh, it's quite the romantic novelist name, isn't it? I mean, Mark Reckless is a crazy cop on the edge, but Brooks Newmark is your first pet and the road you grew up on. Don't have a real name, but... Brooks
Do you
Newmark.
think he looks like if you pumped up Ed Miliband
Yeah, he does, yeah.
and then just slowly let the air out of him?
I find myself in the odd... I don't normally feel this way, but I feel sorry for him. I think it's... He got stung by a journalist pretending to be a girl.
Yeah.
Sent him lewd photographs of another girl.
I know. I have sympathy for him as well. But the penis is not an attractive... At the no seduction is worth by going, well, wait till you see this. This is a very beautiful thing. No, women, I know not generalisation for women, but they don't find men's bits, I think, as just visually, well, that is a particularly lovely.
Is that why there's the little opening at the front of the pyjamas?
It's specifically designed for that, yeah.
Right, yeah,
Pyjamas,
just
so
checking.
in order for you to get your junk out, quick photo, pop it back in again.
In the olden days, you just pop it out of your pyjamas, quickly draw a charcoal sketch, fold it up, give it to a carrier pigeon, they'd take it to a local madam.
Or brass rubbing, but you've got to be careful because it gets bigger as you go on.
There's a generational element to this, I've got to, though, that it is very much the lingua franca for young people and their... Josh, please. I would happen, you're a young man. Is this common now, just as a, hello, you look very nice. Click, click, here you go. I'm just... it's a standard form of address, I'm told.
I wasn't expecting to be put on the spot, Dara, but I can say that one of you has received a photo of me already this evening. And when you all go back to your dressing rooms, my cock is on your phone, Dara.
Well, that is... I mean, I thought it'd be preloaded anyway, like the U2 album. But that would be very exciting.
I tell you what, and people would be complaining about the space that was taken up on their phones.
I only got a 32 gig for this, baby. Can we move on to the actual meeting itself, the Conservative Party conference? How has that gone? How have the Conservatives, in the light of all these scandals, won back the hearts and minds of the British public?
Cameron wants to bring back the idea that you'll have your own doctor again. They want to extend GP hours and also have you don't just see your annual GP, you'll have your own GP, which I like the idea of, because my surgery, you don't know which one you're going to see. And sometimes when you arrive, we've got one of those electronic arrive for your appointment things, rather than talk to a receptionist. They feel it's a more efficient way of spreading disease if you all have to touch a screen. and sometimes it'll say you're going to see this doctor or that doctor, but sometimes it doesn't know. And one time I've gone in and it's actually gone, you are seeing Dr. Unknown. My old nemesis. We meet again, Dr. Unknown.
People are worried about kind of immigration and employment. People are defecting to UKIP. And so to counter that, they've come up with this amazing policy, which is that if a parent or something dies and he leaves a pension, they're going to reduce the tax that you have to pay after death. You kind of think, what, is that exciting in any sense?
Yes.
No.
To rich people, that is enormously exciting.
I don't understand it. What about zombies?
Okay. Zombies is a legal grey area.
Do they have to pay it or do they get a rebate?
They don't get a rebate, but they only have to pay a lower rate of tax on when they draw down the lump sum that they had previously invested but not taken. Presuming they became a zombie after 75. Before 75, of course, they get the same series of monthly payments that I had leading up to the breakup.
I think I had a really good analogy for this, because I think it's really, really terrifying, isn't it? These voiceless people seem to be having, and very vulnerable people having their benefits cut. And the trouble with Tories is they tell you that they kind of sell this idea that it's these people's fault. And so this is my analogy. So I don't know if you know this, but girls, when they're in the toilets, some girls hover because they think that public toilets are disgusting.
What, off the floor?
No. Yes. It's amazing. We can do that.
You are amazing!
But we only do it in secret or you'll love us too much. So the girls hover cover up the toilet seats, and then they wee, and then that means that what they do is they kind of spray a fine mist all over the toilet seat, which means that if you're a trusting person who doesn't think that toilets are disgusting, you just sit down, and then you're covered with somebody else's urine, and you have to take it off. And actually, the point is, if no one ever hovered, everyone could sit on toilets. It would be fine for everyone. It's just like the Tories. You see?
It's a hell of an analogy. That is... I think we can all get behind that as a political slogan if nobody ever hovered.
I don't know whether I like girls more or less after that.
I'm just glad that I'm not the only one who hovers.
At the end of that round, the points go to Josh Serenandi. Now we play a round called You Keep Me All Night, Baby. This involves Josh and James. If you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is adventure. Who wants to come in that? James.
I'm not a very adventurous person. I've only ever used one side of a cheese grater. Got no idea what the other three sides even do. I'm not the only one either, because everyone knows what side I'm talking about, right? Big holes. Got no time for small holes and tiny holes. And if you've ever seen small... It's the roughest side of anything I've ever seen in my life, small holes. There's rows of tiny little spikes, so I'm going to use that side as in self-defence. Then you've got to wash it. I don't know how you negotiate that. How you wash something that is rougher than your own scouring pad. Interestingly, the only thing rough enough to wash a cheese grater is a second cheese grater. I refuse to believe that anyone has ever used the side with the three curvy slits in it. Don't need them. Get rid of them, replace with something I'd actually use in my day-to-day cheese needs. Like, for me, it'd be a device that in one smooth downward motion completely unwraps a baby bell. Someone told me the other day the three curvy slits they use for slicing cheese. Apparently. It's the word on the street. Now, if I'm going to slice cheese, my first port of call is seldom the grater. Call me old-fashioned, I'm a knife man. It might be a fuddy-duddy, but I like it. It's unpredictable. You always start out. You're thinking, well, this cheese cutting's going excellently. Oh, yeah. It just passed the halfway mark and the cheese takes over. Can't reverse it. It's made its mind up now. And yeah, now you've got to slice the cheese that's half the size you wanted in the first place. But at least you got some stories.
Thank you, James, for comprehensively dealing with the topic of adventure there. That leaves us with Josh. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And it's crime. Away you go.
So, I had my cheese grater stolen. I got burgled, not for the cheese grater. When you get burgled, everyone says the same thing to you. Everyone says, oh, tell you what the worst thing about being burgled is? It's knowing that a stranger's been through your things. You go, no. It's not the worst thing about being burgled, is knowing a stranger has my things. If they had just been browsing, I wouldn't have given a shit. Offer me two options. One, come home, my laptop is gone. Or two, come home, find a stranger in my room going, well, I like this T-shirt, but have you got it in a large? I phoned my dad and said I've been burgled. He said, we know why you've been burgled and we haven't. It's because we're in the neighbourhood watch. I said, no, it isn't. It's because you live in Devon. A small village in the middle of nothing, but mile upon mile of moorland. I mean, no one's going to burgle you, because whatever they took, it wouldn't cover their petrol money. From what I can tell, the only proactive thing the Neighbourhood Watch does is once a month they have a meeting. All that does, it tells burglars for one night out of every 30. All houses are empty and unwatched. There's this paranoia about crime back in Devon, where I'm from. Went back recently, went into the local co-op, and it's a tiny co-op in a tiny village. But I went up to the desk, and there was a sign that said, did you know we now do legal advice? And obviously my first reaction was, no. And to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised he did Sugar Puff, so... Why is the co-op now doing legal advice? Just too many people coming in going, I'll have 10 silk cut, a Viennetta, and I've killed a man.
Well done, very good. Well done, both of you. Point in that to J.J. Carter. Carter down. Our next round is called This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. James, which category would you like?
I would like sport, please, Dara.
OK, sport it is. The answer is 8 out of 10. What is the question?
How many buzzcocks have got news for you?
Is it how many Tory MPs are currently trying to delete their WhatsApp photo messages as we speak?
It's a sport question. Is it how many of the hairs on Wayne Rooney's head started on his arse?
Is it...
I think that's where they get them, isn't it? Didn't you have that done?
Yes, it is. I haven't had it done. No, I haven't had that done.
I didn't say no. I didn't say you had it done. I wasn't looking at you as though you had it done.
Clean shaven would my arse be if this is me after the transplant?
You might have had it done the other way.
You think I got my It's lovely now. Very comfortable now. Yeah. Shall we move on?
Here's one that 4 people will get. In the unaired finale of Star Trek Voyager, who did 7 of 9 marry?
Or is it how many people watched Emma Watson's speech for the wrong reasons?
Is it how many people in my hip-hop dance troupe are not twins?
Are you one of the twins?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Is it, if you asked Kanye West to name 10 people he admires, how many people would be Kanye West?
Is it how many Strictly celebrities are having affairs with their dance partners?
What are my rough chances of happiness every time I dip into a bag of Revels?
Coffee, is it? Coffee
I don't like the coffee. I'm not fond of the orange.
Do you not like the orange?
Don't like the coffee at all, and I'm not fond of the orange.
Yeah.
Do not push me on this. I swear to God, I will take your fucking eye out. Sorry.
Ed! I've said this before. Let it go in the Revels.
All right.
Just buy a bag of minstrels, Ed. I've said it to you constantly.
How many of the answers in this round won't be broadcast?
Yeah. Now, Ed, does anyone want to try to answer the question?
So I think this is actually how many times Europe have beaten America in the Ryder Cup.
Very good. Thank you very much, Sarah. That's fantastic, yeah.
Really the points, man.
Yes, the question I was looking for was about the Ryder Cup. It's how many of the Ryder Cup tournaments have the European team now won over the last 2 decades? This is the 40th Ryder Cup, which saw the European team win 16.5 to 11.5 against the United States at Gleneagles this weekend, continuing their domination since the mid-90s. Have you been gripped? I would turn to you, but you probably were. Ed, have you been gripped? Yeah, I'm saying guessing it's a no.
Oh, the golf. It's like football, but slower.
Seeing all of these Europeans getting on so well together, loving being part of a team together, UKIP must hate the Ryder Cup, mustn't they?
What I thought was so odd about this, so the Ryder Cup used to be between Britain and America.
Yeah.
And then we kept losing all the time.
Yep.
So then we made it Britain and Ireland against America. And then we kept losing all the time. So now we've made it the whole of Europe against America. And now we win all the time, which means they're going to add on another country, like Russia. And then we're going to have to add on another country, like... No, Spain's in Europe, Sarah. They're going to add on another country. So eventually, everyone in the world will be playing in this competition apart from women.
What was Rory McIlroy wearing to help him deal with the cold?
It was like oven gloves.
Oh, was it for the cold?
Yeah, what did you think? Why did you think he was wearing using a puppet show about two sharks?
He'd won the Ryder Cup and he'd also got through to the semi-finals of the Great British Bake Off. So
It would have been a lot better if he'd also worn one of those aprons with, like, a naked woman's body on it, wouldn't it?
He's just got the good oven gloves, but it's like two separate ones, and not the, you know, the ones that are one oven glove for each hand, and then that filthy hammock. It's the most bacteria-ridden bit of fabric in your entire house. What are you using it for? Handling food. Nice one.
In other news, who has David Cameron had to apologise to in the last week?
Queen.
The Queen.
Yeah,
Yes.
because he told, I think it was the ex-mayor of New York, wasn't it? And it was overheard by a journalist. He said that when the Queen heard the Scottish referendum result, she purred. Which apparently she does.
purred.
Yeah. What he didn't say is that when she doesn't like something, she goes, bah!
Did she purr, or is that not just the sound that a phone makes when you hang up on somebody?
But I do like the idea of the Queen purring. I think that would make a fantastic Christmas message, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, the speech.
She's sat there on the little armchair. She's got a little saucer of milk, a little scratching post on the other side. Just going, oh.
Would the Duke of Edinburgh be scratching her behind the neck? Is that what happened? Oh, sorry, I touched you.
Hello, you two. Hello.
Yeah, everyone saw that, right?
What's under the desk? Get up and show us what's under the desk,
Sarah, quickly, hover. Hover out of here right now.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what, that is the furthest I've ever been with a girl.
I mean, I get on one level, yes, she's like a cat. We feed her, and she treats us with a fair amount of contempt.
I'm disappointed that in the most candid revelation of what she's like on the phone, it was just a bit of a purr. That he didn't say, and I told her, it's OK, Scotland decided to stay, and she said, oh, get in, you fucking beauty.
At the end of that round, the points go to Ed, Hugh and James. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see, so if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
And Hamilton takes the checkered flag. Give back the checkered flag!
And you join us tonight for the boxing. I really hope a fight doesn't kick off like last time. Guys, can't we just talk about...
Welcome to Under-16s badminton, where the players are still laughing at the word shuttlecock.
Oh, and the club has connected beautifully there. But according to World Boxing Federation rules, that's an instant disqualification.
And Switzerland takes the gold and hangs on to it even after the Second World War is after.
He turns, he shoots, and that is a horrible end to the Grand National.
Say what you like about dressage, I couldn't give a shit.
And Slippery Bastard is in first with all arms and legs. Second, Belly Flop Boy coming on the inside. And yes, I have forgotten the swimmers' names and have resorted to funny nicknames.
And you join me here in Helsinki for the final of the curling. And you know what that means? My career is going shit.
And the referee checks his watch and realise it was given by the Brazilian FA, he's going to have to return it.
Oh, so will it be Oxford? Will it be Cambridge? Who will provide most of the new cabinet?
And there's a streaker on the pitch. 2 words, hubba, hubba.
And as they take the last bend, that is the end of the Ben Stealing Championships.
And it's the relay, and he's made a grab for the baton. Oh, that's not the baton. But he's got a smile on his face anyway.
And Rosberg makes a mistake. He runs wide into turn 2. Why is he running? Get in the car, you twat!
OK, the next topic is lines you wouldn't hear in a TV detective show.
Next up, on Channel 5, a woman has a painful wrist in RSI Miami.
Of course I dusted for Prince. I'm his cleaner, and he prefers to be known as the artist formerly known as Prince.
How did I recognise him from just his genitalia? The red and blue paisley pyjamas around the outside.
Do you not speak Danish?
This week, Rosemary and Thyme are joined by 2 Indian detectives. Turmeric and chilli.
You're going to arrest me for making lewd and childish innuendos? I hope you don't expect me to come quietly.
This week, there's panic in Midsummer as they meet their first black man.
Ah, you said it was a whodunit. Yeah, we arrested Hugh Dennis.
I think I have solved it, Watson. No shit, Sherlock.
There has been a heinous crime committed on the Orient Express. Somebody has done a shit while the train was still in a station.
Leave me alone, Watson. I'm going to go back into my mind palace and have the wank of a lifetime.
Yeah. The murderer has cut out the victim's tongue. Let's get that back to the lab. I've got some envelopes need licking.
Now, Constable, the fact that you've had to redo the chalk outline 17 times should surely be an indication that the victim is still alive.
I shoot my gun like I shoot my load into my hand.
You're under arrest. You're not obliged to say anything, but anything you do say means you'll be an actor rather than an extra and you get paid a bit more.
So you say that at the time of the murder, you were hosting Daybreak on ITV. So there's no witnesses to corroborate.
Hello, we're the fashion police. Let's see the body. Oh, blue with green. He deserves to die.
Okay, again, and the party's going to end here in days. And that's the end of the show. This week's winners are Andy Parsons, Sarah Pascoe and Josh Widdicombe.
commiserations to Ed Byrne, Hugh Dennis and James Acaster. Thank you for watching. I'm Darrell Breen. Good night.
There's more comedy at the same time tomorrow night on BBC Two. The letter L provides inspiration for the new series of QI.